In this scenario, we are going to combine a subscription order with a hardware. So we're looking at a bundled contract that you might sell to your customer. We'll start by creating the subscription order in the SAP BRIM solution. So we're taking a look at a standard subscription that you'll be looking at with the customer. It's a 2-year long subscription. We can go in and just enter in all of the key information that is needed for a subscription order. So we can combine that with our hardware. So we're first looking in by adding in our contract account, ensuring that all of our dates are correct with our 2-year contract starting at the beginning of this month, and going through and selecting our monthly billing plan cycle. You do have the option to do quarter, semi-annual, or annual as well. Once all of the information is saved for your subscription order, you'll take note of the contract number that is created. This contract number can be utilized to combine it with a standard SD contract that we'll be looking at for our hardware, looking at contract 622, or you can utilize other identifiers to combine contracts, whether that's the same customer, type of subscription that you're utilizing, or different fields that you would like to utilize. We'll then go ahead and transfer this subscription order into revenue accounting and reporting. Once that has created the contracts, we will go in and an operational process will also take place on the SD side. So this contract is actually 2 orders with the customer, one that has been created within SAP SD and one that has been created within the BRIM solution. Here I'm going to identify my customer reference being the contract that was created through the subscription order of 622. I will set my dates to be the same dates that I saw within the subscription order. Those dates can also be different from the order that you have. We'll attach our hardware. Once that contract has been created, we can go ahead and save our standard sales order. And then we'll go in and take a look at running our revenue accounting items. So this revenue accounting item monitor actually showcases all of the revenue contracts that get created from the operational documents of your customer. So for example, here we're going to select our hardware contract within SD and our subscription contract within subscription orders. You'll notice that it only created 1 revenue accounting contract. So we have 1 contract with 2 performance obligations, comes from different sender components. So we have 1 coming from SD and the other from a contract account. Those bring in the different header items and the different contract numbers that we have, and we can see our contract there. We can also view our contract from the contract work list. So we'll see our first contract on our work list is our latest contracts that have been created. When I drill into my revenue accounting contract, it still has ties back to the operational document. I have drill through capabilities to go back and look at either of those contracts. It has also allocated the revenue correctly based off of the sale and selling prices for each of those items. So each contract had a contractual amount, each contract had a line item, and those line items came in and showcase within the revenue accounting contract the different allocation or different revenue that you'll actually be posting to each of those line items. You can have revenue that is excluded as well, so each of those could come in and just post revenue separately, but based off of the combination of the 2 into 1 revenue accounting contract, the system does automatically handle allocation. Next, if we go in and take a look at the revenue schedule, this is going to showcase over the life of the contract when you'll be able to expect revenue. So we can see at the top our cloud subscription, as it is a time-based performance obligation, it is going to already be recognizing revenue. But we do have hardware down below that is unscheduled. That hardware will only be fulfilled or only be recognized as revenue once the customer invoice has been selected. So we can actually go in and take a look at our invoices, see whether or not the hardware has been delivered, and we can select invoices that are available. So the invoice for our hardware as well as our subscription order can be sent in one invoice when each of those bills have been completed. So we have a billing plan separate for subscription coming in, as well as a hardware bill or invoice coming in, and we can actually send one invoice out to the customer. Once we refresh our revenue schedule, this is going to showcase that we can now recognize revenue for our hardware as well as our subscription. So we have completed everything that it is for this particular contract, and now we can run that revenue posting. So there's a 3-step model we would run through that runs through batch jobs to post the revenue, and then we can go ahead and see what that revenue is going to look like. The system automatically provides those revenue postings to each of the general ledger accounts that are the correct accounts for receivable adjustments, invoice corrections, as well as the posting of that revenue. And that allows for us to actually see what that's going to look like before the posting run takes place. The posting run can happen daily, if not multiple times a day, or monthly, depending on how often you want to post revenue. Once the revenue has been posted, you can actually see those journal entries in SAP. So we're going directly into our general ledger. We're viewing the contract that we have been working with. You can see all of the postings that we simulated with our revenue run with each of the general ledger accounts. And then we actually have drill through capabilities. So we can go back into the general ledger posting that took place, and we can see drill through all the way from the orders that we created, posting into the account, the billing, and now the revenue accounting postings to the general ledger.